3,771 people died in long-term care, more in the second wave than in the first wave. So instead of blaming others, I think the people of this province want a simple apology from their Premier and from the Minister of Long-Term Care. They want the Minister to take the time to answer questions and to commit to a complete overhaul of the long-term care system, starting with putting care before profits. So, Speaker, I have a simple yes or no question for the Premier. Will the Premier commit today to the people of this province that the government will immediately begin to implement all 85 recommendations from the Long-Term Care Commission?
And to reply on behalf of the government, the Minister of Long-Term Care.
Thank you, Speaker. And you know, in terms of the Commission on Long-Term Care, there are 85 recommendations. They're all very insightful. Some of the recommendations we're well on our way to completing or have completed. Some others will take more work and an understanding of how they can be implemented. We're absolutely committed to the insightful recommendations and the report that they have provided to us, the commissioners. We are tremendously grateful for that insight. And so, yes, we acknowledge the importance of the commissioners' recommendations. There's no question about that. In terms of taking responsibility, we have. In fact, more so than any other previous government in the history of this province for long-term care. Donna Duncan from the OLTCA indicated that publicly. And so when we look at what the mess was, we are addressing this.
Response?
The staffing, 4 hours of direct care, the capacity, the innovative programs, making sure that we never let this happen again. And so we will do that.
Thank you. Supplementary question.
Speaker, sadly, for the people who lost loved ones in long-term care homes, I take it from that response that the answer is no. It's one thing to say, yes, we acknowledge recommendations. It's another thing to say that we will immediately begin to implement recommendations. I want to quote from the Commission report. The working conditions in long-term care homes must be improved in order to better attract, recruit, develop, and retain staff. This includes guaranteeing PSWs full-time work and living wages. So, Speaker, if the government is not going to commit today to implementing all 85 recommendations in the Long-Term Care Commission report, will the minister at least commit today to extending and making it permanent the pandemic pay increase for PSWs, which is set to expire on June 30th?
Minister of Long-Term Care.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, I think the member opposite is saying it in a different way. I have said that we will look at all those recommendations, and some of them are already done. Some of them need to be done. Others, we have to understand how to do them. And so absolutely, when we look at the PSWs in our long-term care system, they are the backbone, and I will say they're also the heart of our system. And so we have been very supportive of the PSWs to understand what we can do to help them with the pandemic pay, with the temporary wage increase, and looking at ways that we can make sure that they are supported and recognized for the important work that they do. And the Premier has been very clear. Everything is on the table. And so while we work through this process, while we take the insights of the Commission and the Auditor General to heart, we are committed to addressing these long-standing issues like no other government in the history of this province.
The next question, the member for Northumberland, Peterborough South.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Small Business and Red Tape.